Odds and Evens opens with U.S. Navy Lieutenant Johnny Firpo engaging in various competitions on behalf of the Navy. He is their top football player and their top sea racer. In the middle of a race, Johnny's speedboat stalls in the water. First, he suspects the transporter Charlie. His superiors believe the sabotage was the work of illegal bookmakers operating in the Miami area. Reports are coming out that they're rigging local competitions and they want Johnny to investigate. Hijinks ensue as Johnny investigates along with the assistance of Charlie, who turns out to be his brother. Odds and Evens may be one of the weaker films in the Spencer and Hill comedies, certainly in the pacing department. In 2 instances, the gag is milked for too long. The gag being Johnny doesn't know how to play cards, yet he puts himself in high-risk situations when a card game is involved. Another gag played for too long is Johnny asking Charlie for pistachio ice cream after being repeatedly told that the pistachio is melted. However, there are a few moments that were so absurd I couldn't help but laugh hysterically at them. One brief subplot has Charlie in love with a nun hitchhiker. When Charlie thinks he sees the same nun, he stops only to realize it's Johnny in drag. Another subplot is a group of thugs are sent to kidnap the baby of one of the athletes that's supposed to lose for them. It's dark, but in the minimal light, we can see the baby is actually Charlie in disguise. Seeing Bud Spencer dressed as a giant baby may be one of the funniest things I've ever seen in their films. One sequence has Spencer disguised as a marked competitor, donning a curly-haired wig. It was such a goofy sight I couldn't help but laugh. There are funny bits, but they are few and far between. While the previous films played up the fistfights as cartoonish, this one adds some bits of realism that came off as being totally out of place. Here we see guys get their teeth knocked out, spitting them out. It was something I hadn't seen previously in their films, and it honestly took me out of the film. Overall, the film feels like a weak effort and should only be viewed by those who are veterans of their films. Odds and Evens was directed oddly enough by Sergio Corbucci. Corbucci was a key figure in the spaghetti western genre. He gave us the original Django with Franco Nero, Navajo Joe with Burt Reynolds, and Compañeros with Tomas Milian. Corbucci also gave us such comedies as The White, the Yellow, and the Black, The Con Artist with Anthony Quinn, and the Terence Hill solo comedy Superfuzz. He was able to adapt to changes in filming trends that were necessary in the Italian film industry. Guido and Maurizio De Angelis provide a music score based around a poppy song. This time, the song is Brotherly Love. I couldn't find any of the charting information, but it has an early 80s Phil Collins feel. The use of the brass and backing vocals were a precursor to tracks like Missed Again and Paper Lane. The chemistry between Spencer and Hill is noticeably weaker than in previous films. They come off as tired, lacking the energy in some of the scenes that were meant to be comedic. Also, age is becoming a factor as the fights lack the elaborate elements of previous films, notably Hill's acrobatic Harold Lloyd moments from They Call Me Trinity and Crime Busters. Sal Borges, Riccardo Puzzuti, Claudio Ruffini, and Giovanni Cianfriglia return in bit roles as gangsters and henchmen. Keep an eye out for Salvatore Basile as a gangster with a cigar. We later see Basile as a military escort in Cannibal Holocaust. I know this one comes off as being the obviously short film review of the episode. There's just not a lot to say about this film. If you're a diehard Spencer and Hill fan, you'll enjoy this one. But if you're new to the duo, I would hold off on seeing this one.